Honorable President, sir, dignitaries present on the dais and in front of me, and ladies and gentlemen. I'll take less than 10 minutes. But first thing first, let me start by saying that the concept of development as devised by Bretton Woods School, we have gone past that. We have started doubting the veracity of mapping development in terms of economics. And that's a good thing to start with. Whether we have actually come to a conclusion of what development means, I say no, we haven't. But the good thing is that we have understood that development is something which cannot only be measured by economic metrics. Second question, four more important questions which has been raised by Dr. Das. I guess my deliberation in the next 7 minutes will touch on all these points. But before that, let me tell you what exactly this term political economy means now. Dr. Das has given the historical background of political economy and the discipline, how it emerged and disintegrated and then again emerged. Political economy, this I am quoting from a dictionary now, refers to distribution of political and economic power in a given society and how that influences the directions of development and policies that bear on him. And in my deliberation, I would like to reflect on what media can and should do about this. But before I move into this, let me pay my tribute to one person who was probably the practical manifestation of political economist. That's Dr. Hare Krishna Mahatab. Not only political economist, but also a communicator par excellence who can actually reach out to people and talk about development in a tone and tenor and language that people can understand and can, as rightly pointed out by Dr. Das, can be energized. And that is another area probably we communicators, we need to look into very seriously. How do we energize? But before that, what is the problem of political economy? Probably politics and economics, both politicians and business houses, they are so close together, probably that is giving rise to a lot of problems. Never before in history of free India, political class and business class have almost morphed and merged into together. That probably is creating a situation which is giving rise to crony capitalism and which is giving an impetus to the widening inequality in the society that we see. And this inequality, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the major reasons why development, in whichever way you see it, is not actually reaching the grassroots, I guess. There are some other factors I would like to flag, and then I'll come back to what needs to be done by the media. Another thing that is a problem with India particularly is that we are a fragmented and heterogeneous society. So one template of communication probably will not reach even if we go to the core. He's talking about going to the core and touching the quintessential Indian core so that the communication can be very effective. But it's very, very difficult in India with its heterogeneity, with its diverse culture, to touch that core. Finding out that core is a huge challenge for communicators. We who are into communication academia, probably we need to ponder over that. Probably we need to do more research on that, more introspection on that. That how do we touch that core in a society which is more heterogeneous than is visible. We are divided in many ways, and not only culture. Then another point is the way politics is being carried out, say from 90s onwards, or if we put it this way, 80s onwards. We have regional parties gaining ground, and therefore the regional parties naturally would like to hold on to their areas of power. And by doing that, probably there is a conflict of interest with other regional areas, other regional parties, and that is probably creating a threat for our federalism. When that is there, then the overall, when we talk about overall development, there is a serious problem of overall development if we are fragmented in this way, which has a political stake. So therefore, we communicators, we must be careful about devising a communication model or communication process in which individuality will be given due weightage, local aspirations will be given due weightage without compromising the total federal structure. That's a very challenging task for us communicators. Another important area which probably I should flag is the reality of elections and how does it impact the development paradigm. We are moving to a situation where every political party, every political person is relying heavily on giving out doles and subsidies and whatnot, from mixies to whatever, free meal to everything, right? And if these are utilized to get political power, then, ladies and gentlemen, the real development from within will be the casualty, and that is the fact. That is that you can look at every state. This is again has to do with the federal structure. When you are doling out subsidies, doing populist things which will ultimately yield no result, and then you spend money like that, like there is no pit to that, there is no bottom. And then you expect somebody else to fund that. And in this case, the somebody else is the state. So here there is a dilemma, there is a dichotomy, there is an irony also probably. Now, having flagged the issues which probably is holding back for us to move into the development trajectory, let me quickly come back to what we need to do. What we need to do conceptually has been outlined broadly in broad strokes by Dr. Das. I was very carefully listening to him. I'll come back to what in practical aspects we need to do, the communicators need to do. One, can we ask our journalists, our media persons to highlight the perils of inequality and suggest ways to reduce it? Number one. Number two, can we promote decentralization of power while promoting this true spirit of federalism? Then, can we discourage ethnocentrism and jingoistic chest thumping, which probably is becoming the primary strategy of all political parties operating from a given state. And therefore, we are looking at a scenario where every state is fighting with its neighboring state. Almost every state.
Please conclude it now.
Yes, sir. And last but not the least, can we ask our media to refrain from going for trivialization and make people aware about the core issues relating to them for long-term and sustainable development? These are some of the practical challenges. Dr. Das has flagged the conceptual challenges, but these are the practical challenges, ladies and gentlemen, I feel communicators and media academicians must engage with.